There we go. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good morning if you're joining me from the US. Today is our Monday call. Thank you so much for making that quick switch from our old number to our new number. I'm welcoming you now. This is our permanent home. So if you know a friend and you look on the screen and you don't happen to see his or her face, if you could give them a quick, send them a quick text message, a WhatsApp, and just let them know we have changed. And our new number, for those of you who didn't hear my earlier announcement, is right here, 710-318-346. So if you think there might be somebody else on the other line, I'm not getting text messages, so I think that's actually a good thing. We want to make sure that everyone's more migrated to the new number. So I'm going to share my screen with you. And then let's get started. Oops. So let's see let's play our presentation for the day. So 3 things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about specials, we're going to talk about head injuries, and we're going to also talk about announcements. And actually this should say April 2017. Excuse me, that's a goof on my part. I will change that soon afterwards. The first thing I want to do is I want to say thank you to this team. We are big and getting bigger every single day, and I'm so proud of all of you. I think one of the things that we're doing is that we're spreading the word. We're making sure that the information about doTERRA, the idea that there is hope and that there is a sense of empowerment that you can have by taking care of your own health and helping the people that you love really to feel empowered in their own lives is super, super important. So I want to say thank you, first of all, to our Rising Blue Diamonds, Elizabeth Ho, Hong and Shu Lee, Sang Wei, and Wen Wei. We have had a wonderful I guess it's almost 2.5 years, if you can believe it, on this call, but almost 3.5 years. Many of you have been listening to different podcasts and different things and have joined the call. And this is a big and quickly getting bigger group. Our Rising Diamonds and Kat, Sri Malati, and Nish Wendeman, Lorinda Walker is oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm getting 2 texts, so I'm actually going to change this really quickly. Let's do this. Sorry, folks. Yep. And then let's move Nicole into her proper place. Okay, terrific. We have a wonderful growing team. These are our diamonds, blue diamonds, and our rising platinums. And our team is, as you know, an international team, really all over the world. So our rising diamonds and Kat, Sri Malati, and oh my goodness, and Danish Wendeman, and our rising platinums, Joyce Lynn, David, Sihan, Binhu, and Nicole Tay. Finally, I moved you, and your name is now in the right place. So I want to say thank you for your patience, and thank you for all of you for always being on this call and listening to all the crazy mix-ups that I have here. As you can see, I'm making these adjustments really quickly because I want to make sure that everybody gets their day in the sun. It's a horrible thing, I think, when you want to be in a certain place and maybe you're not there, or you've gotten to a certain place and you want to be recognized. I think it's a human need really to be recognized and have that sense of accomplishment. One of the things that I love about doTERRA is that they're really good at acknowledging us and making us feel like we're doing something very important. Okay, let's talk about our rising goals. Melanie, Sarita, Bryce, Kak Heng, Joyce, Sun Kun, Marie, Jang Jang, Agnes, Lydia, Wiley, Lei Tang, Yok Mei, Anne, Sylvia, Lauda, Kathleen, Lee Vern, Pui Hoon, Carmen, Shirley, Alan, Joyce Lynn, Telia, Vincy, Heather, and Michelle. Thank you so much for all your dedication. This is a wonderful team. And at the end, we're going to continue on. We've got some great new specials that I think are going to help us all to rise up and to rank advance. Okay, the issues that are talked about here come from the book, Essential Oils Healthcare for Today, a Beginner's Guide. If you are not a beginner, this might be a great guide for you to introduce to people that you know who are beginners. And if you are a beginner, this is a terrific way for you to begin to find out different ways to use essential oils. Interestingly enough, despite the fact that this book has been out for a while, I actually saw somebody else present on it. I was in New York last weekend, and I saw another lady, a nurse, present about using this book, and she called it her LRP book. So that's what I like to think of it as. If you're setting up an LRP for yourself, if you're setting up, helping somebody else to set up an LRP, it gives you suggestions for 90 days of essential oil use. And I think that's very important and can help you begin your doTERRA journey in a more concentrated way. Okay, let's talk first of all about the OTG specials for the April 1st through 15th and then 16th through 31st. So number one is we want to make sure that everybody has information about the specials because it's super important for us to pass the word to the members on our team. So let's talk about OTG on 1st through 15th. So we have a 200 preview promotion that is continuing from last month. That's our promotion of Deep Blue Rub and Deep Blue Essential Oil Blend in the 5 milliliter bottle. If you decide to order from the United States, you can get the doTERRA Touch roll-on, and yes, it will continue until April 15th. The product of the month for April is Digestion, a 5 milliliter bottle. If you order at 125 PV or more, you will receive the product of the month. And finally, the Rose and Jasmine promotion. So Singapore, 125, 80 worth of free oils, and $7.88 worth of free oils if you are qualifying for this, the Rose and the Jasmine. So products of the month, Digestion, 200 PV promotion. You can receive the product of the month with 125 PV or more. And then finally, 16th through the 31st of April, Rose and Jasmine promotion continues. And that is a qualifying promotion. Basically, it is based on enrollments, and we're going to talk about that in a little while. So let's talk about Fall in Love. The promotion period is April 1st through May 31st. You can earn a 5 milliliter Rose or Jasmine or both as you share doTERRA with your friends. How do you earn this? If you enroll 4 new wellness advocates, each with 100 PV enrollment order and 100 PV LRP order the following month, you can receive a Jasmine oil. 5 milliliter value, 5 milliliter bottle. That is a 35 RMB value. I'm sorry, 835 RM value. If you, is that correct? I'm sorry, folks. I'm having a little trouble reading the bottom of the page there. If you enroll 7 new wellness advocates, again, with 100 PV enrollment order and then 100 PV LRP order the following month, you will receive a Rose, a 5 milliliter bottle of Rose essential oil. And finally, if you enroll 11 new wellness advocates, so a total of 11 within the promotion period, each with 100 PV enrollment order and 100 PV LRP order the following month, you will receive the Rose and the Jasmine RM 2504. That's a huge gift. Always happens once a year. It has already passed in the US, and there's actually a little fluke of some of you were on my call about 2 months ago. I actually started to announce this, and some nice person, probably Wen Wei, who's always watching my back and making sure I'm saying the right thing at the right time, said, no, we don't have the promotion yet. So you have the promotion now. I want you to totally enjoy it. It's obviously a 2-month promotion, the whole month of April and the whole month of May. Let's talk about the benefits of rose oil. So it can boost confidence and fight depression. It can prevent wounds from developing infections, improve skin texture and health and youthful skin, acts as a nerve tonic and gives you strength to bear shock, protects the liver and stomach from infections. It can cure convulsions, muscle pulls, cramps, and spasmodic cholera, strengthens gums and hair roots while toning skin, cures internal bacterial infections and protects from viruses. It purifies the blood and speeds up blood coagulation, helps to stimulate menstruation and boosts libido, and serves as a laxative. Now, I will tell you, rose essential oil is extremely concentrated. I want you to get the most out of your bottle of rose oil. Please dilute it with fractionated coconut oil. I remember about a few years ago making rose roll-ons and needing only about 4 or 5 drops in a 10 milliliter roll-on and really being able to smell the rose completely. So enjoy your rose, but make sure you really stretch it out until you win another bottle next year. But as you can see, rose oil has a lot of wonderful benefits. Rose oil is also a thermogenic oil, meaning that it creates heat in the body. So if you're a person who has poor circulation or often feels cold, this is the oil for you. I sometimes tell the funny story of going to meet my good friend Carrie, and we were going to do a presentation about rose for Valentine's Day. And she said, put on a lot of rose oil so that when you get to the meeting, you're like a human diffuser. And so I did put on a lot of rose oil. And February, as you know, in the United States is very cold. I got so warm that I had to open up all the windows in the car and take off my coat and drive with the windows open because I was sweating. But it was quite an experience. And from then on, I have always remembered that rose is a thermogenic oil, so it creates heat in the body. Let's talk a little bit about jasmine essential oil. So it works as an antiseptic. It helps fight depression. It relaxes spasms, enhances libido, helps fade scars, provides relief from coughs, reduces insomnia and snoring, helps regulate menstrual cycles, treats eczema and dermatitis, promotes lactation in mothers. You don't want to take it while you're pregnant, and that's the little symbol over there with the pregnant lady. Facilitates the birthing process. So as you get to the end of your birthing process and you're ready to deliver, you may want to apply a drop or 2 on the feet. Provides relief from anxiety and stress, tones the uterus and helps protect from tumors, and reduces labor pains in women. So great essential oil, as it says here, pregnant women to avoid usage before actual birthing process. I have a couple of bottles of jasmine oil that I've won over the years, and I love it. And I continue to dilute it, and I add it into blends. To me, it's just rich and hypnotic, and I really want to be able to win it every year. It's one of my favorite oils. Okay, let's talk about the Deep Blue Duo. Here we go. So you're earning a free 5 milliliter of Deep Blue essential oil blend and the Deep Blue Rub, which is a $387 retail value, RM value, by placing any single 200 PV order from April 1st through April 15th. For those of you who were on this call last month, you know that was also the promo during the month of March, but it was so popular that they've extended it for an additional 15 days. So Deep Blue Rub is perfect for soothing massage after a long day of work. Includes wintergreen, camphor, peppermint, ylang-ylang, helichrysum, blue tansy, blue chamomile, and osmanthus, working together to soothe and cool the body. Also to provide support when you do feel aches and pains. My children are both playing a lot of sports now in the spring, and my son is playing lacrosse. I don't know if you've ever seen that. It's an American game that's played with a long stick with a basket at the end, and the boys play a very, very physical game. I'll have to post a picture here next time I see you. And he has bruises everywhere, and but the Deep Blue Rub is really helping. And despite the fact that he complains and says, "Mom, I don't need that," I put it on him or make him put it on every night. Deep Blue Rub is a topical cream infused with the Deep Blue Soothing Blend, and it's formulated with a proprietary blend of natural plant extracts and other powerful ingredients. It provides a comforting sensation of cooling and warmth to problem areas. And I think the reason why they say cooling and warmth is that if you've been using this product for a while, you know that each person experiences it in a different way. It can be experienced as warming or perhaps cooling on the skin. Oops. Should we go back? Okay, uses for Deep Blue. And I know we've gone through this before, but I know we always have someone who's new on this call. So I want to make sure that you are hearing this. If you're hearing this for the first time, that's terrific. If you're hearing this for the 100th or the 1000th time, please just maybe take a quick snap of the slide. Make sure you're passing the word. Muscle, back, and joint pain, arthritis and aches, growing pains in children. Many children experience growing pains in their legs and arms as they begin to go through the stages of growth, headaches, sore throat, and menstrual cramps. So all terrific Deep Blue essential oil blend or the Deep Blue Rub. Saving 10%, this is your OTG, 10% off on juniper berry. And we're going to talk a little bit about the uses for juniper berry. It may be an oil that you have not used as frequently. In my house, my 87-year-old mother, as you've heard before, lives with me. And she uses a lot of juniper berry, and you're going to see why in a minute. So here we go, uses for juniper berry. Joint support, add 4 drops of juniper berry and 3 drops each of peppermint, marjoram, Roman chamomile, helichrysum, and ginger to a 5 milliliter roller bottle or 10 milliliter, top with fractionated coconut oil. For urinary support, and this is very important, many people as they age develop urinary problems, men and women both. Juniper berry is excellent for urinary support. Add 10 drops of juniper berry, 10 drops of rosemary, and 10 drops of lemongrass to a 10 milliliter roller bottle topped with fractionated coconut oil. And you're going to apply that over the skin to the lower abdomen, over the bladder and the kidneys. Diffuse the winter blues away. Add 4 drops of wild orange, 2 drops juniper berry, and 2 drops frankincense. That's a lovely blend. I've used it myself. We're sort of at the end of winter now, but you consider this a cheer you up blend if you wish. It's a great way to kind of boost your mood and just feel a little bit more peppy. For a foaming face wash, you can actually mix your own. I actually sometimes like to change it up. I love the On Guard foaming hand soap. I also love the original foaming face wash from doTERRA. But from time to time, I like to change the recipe and do something a little different. So here's another recipe for you. In a foaming soap dispenser, mix 1 tablespoon of liquid Castile soap, 1 tablespoon of witch hazel, and that's for helping everything to disperse, 10 drops juniper berry essential oil, and then you want to top it with distilled water. And usually we use distilled water in a mix like this because it tends not to clog the dispenser. But if you don't have super hard water, you may live in an area that already has a water softener, you may not need the distilled water. You may be able to use plain tap water. And finally, to relieve childhood fears, in a small, non-plastic, metal or glass or ceramic spritz bottle, mix 4 drops of juniper essential oil to every ounce of water and use as a room and pillow spray. You can also apply a drop to the bottom of the feet or back of the neck, avoiding hands that might end up rubbing eyes. So here's just a few uses for juniper berry. If you've never tried it before, it has sort of a rich, woody smell. If you've ever smelled a bottle of gin, and I know I have some drinkers out there and some non-drinkers, but if you've ever smelled gin, gin is actually made with juniper berries. It has kind of a warm, woody scent to it. And I know sometimes I have a juniper tree behind my house, and when the juniper berries are in bloom, which is sort of at the end of the fall. It smells so delicious and fresh out there and very peaceful. Okay, let's talk about uses for Digestion, which is our other special for this month. These are some unusual ones. I know that most of you know how to use Digestion and have used it many times, but I just want you to keep in mind, we're always talking to new people and we want to be able to talk fluently about how to use essential oils. So you want to add a few drops to water to take internally or rub on the stomach before flying or taking a road trip for a calming aroma. You can have Digestion on hand when enjoying heavy holiday meals to promote digestion. And you can take Digestion with you when traveling or trying new foods to soothe occasional stomach upset. And finally, you can add to water or tea to maintain a healthy gastrointestinal tract. This week is Passover for those of you who are celebrating the Jewish faith, and we'll begin the holiest week in the Christian calendar. Holy Week begins on this Thursday. I will actually be taking some time off. It's a wonderful way to just regroup and to begin to think about the year ahead, and also to celebrate all the blessings of this team and my family and all the things that have been going on this year. I feel very fortunate to be where I am and with the people that I get to pass this journey with. And I know that that's, comes from somewhere else. It doesn't come from me. Okay, let's talk about a couple of interesting things. We mentioned this last time we were on the call, but I think it bears repeating. The Class in a Box is a wonderful tool, and it's available now in Singapore. The Class in a Box was developed for members to share essential oils more effectively and to help new members enjoy the benefits of our top 10 essential oils and help each wellness advocate achieve their goals. So the box contains 5 milliliter bottles of wild orange. It also contains some other materials that will help you to prepare classes. The price is 45 Sing dollars wholesale. There is 0 PV, but I have to tell you, it is one of the best investments you will ever make. And I actually encourage my team members, if your team ever stalls, if you feel like I can't do this, I'm not working, or whatever I'm doing is not working, get yourself a Class in a Box and make the effort to give out all the oils in the box over the course of 1 month, and you will see your group explode. I have had members in my team that stagnated for literally years and didn't move until they finally got a Class in a Box and began to give it out. It was that being able to have something tangible that they could look in the box every day and say, oh, I still have 5 oils left, or I still have 3 oils left. And you want to give them out in a concerted way. Of course, you're not standing on a street corner and just handing out essential oils, but the idea that you want to get to the bottom of the box by the end of the month. And since there really only are 10 samples in the box, it's an easy way for you to be able to reach out to people, meet with them, and talk to them. I love to use Class in a Box for one-on-ones. I can very often show up, pack up the essential oil in a little gift bag or some sort of a pouch, and bring it to the person and say to them, I was thinking of you. Everyone wants to be remembered, and everyone wants to think that they're special and know that they're special. So it's important for us to reach out. And Class in a Box allows us to do that. Class in a Box is also a wonderful way to say thank you. If someone's done something kind for you, you can feel free to send a bottle of wild orange to them with a little bit of extra explanation, and you'll see inside the box, there's plenty of materials for you to be able to do this. So keep Class in a Box in mind. At least get one and make sure that you're using it, but this is a way for you to grow your team. Okay, let's talk about Malaysia. So exciting. Registering for a Malaysia account is super easy, and I want to thank Christine Chu, who is super on top of all of the announcements and very often posts them in the WhatsApp group. If you're not in any of the WhatsApp groups, you may want to jump on there. I don't have all the information here, but she is a pro and really keeps me on my toes, because sometimes I'll open up one of the text messages and I'll think, oh my goodness, what a great special. And I know they always came from Christine. So thank you, Christine Chu. I don't know if you're on the call today, but thank you always for your support of this team. So step step one, you want to email your soft copy of your NRIC and completed Malaysia Wellness Advocate Agreement form to my@doterra.com, and inform the customer service team you would like to register for Malaysia account. Do this, you will need to provide a Malaysia shipping address. Step two, once the customer service team receives your submission, we will process your registration within 3 to 5 working days, pretty fast. And step three, upon completion of your registration, you will receive an email notification from customer service, and you are now able to log into your virtual office. doTERRA Malaysia, welcome. And we're so excited that you are opening your region and soon to open your first office. So this is terrific news. You can find, I think, this information on the WhatsApp group, and you can, of course, take a picture of the screen. But keep in mind, if you're registering accounts for Malaysia, this is the way you want to do it. Okay, shipping in Malaysia. Shipping fees, RM15 flat throughout Malaysia. Kuala Lumpur and Selangor within 2 business days. All Peninsular Malaysia states except KL and Selangor within 5 business days, and East Malaysia within 10 business days. An email on the tracking number will be sent to your email address registered with doTERRA, and you can track your order via the following options with your shipment tracking number. And I obviously this got cut off a little bit, but it'll be on the bottom of your email. So very exciting. You're going to have quick shipping in my humble opinion, and for a very reasonable price. So congratulations and welcome anyone in Malaysia. Okay, let's talk about brain injuries. So this is not a picture of me, but this is what happened to me last Sunday. There was a very slippery floor. It was not wet, but it had a lot of wax on it. And I went flying the way this person is going flying. My head did not hit the floor, but in trying to hold my head up, I actually burst a blood vessel in my head. And my friend Carrie, our fearless leader, was with me. And she looked at me and noticed that the blood vessel was coming through my face and said, you know what? I think we need to go to the hospital. Now, she's usually super calm, and we've been in many different scrapes together, including car accidents and all different sorts of things. And she usually just says, let's put some essential oils on it and we're fine. But in this case, she really felt that a trip to emergency room was necessary, and I'm glad she did. So we're going to talk a little bit about brain injury, head injuries, and usually, obviously, what we're concerned about, not just cracking a skull, of course, but profound brain injuries can be very damaging, and you want to make sure that you're treating them right away. In the moment, obviously, we didn't have our entire essential oils case with us, but we had some lavender, we had some frankincense, and we had some deep blue, and I applied them immediately to my head. So I applied them to my temples, which is where the blood vessel broke, and right on top of it, and the back of my neck, because those are really the easiest ways for the oils to be absorbed, and because obviously the skull is open at the bottom, so you want to make sure that you're applying the oils to the places where the skull is open. I didn't feel relief right away, but I have to say after multiple applications, the swelling began to come down and the pain subsided. So let's talk about the brain. On the left is the granddaddy of them all. This is actual frankincense resin. And I don't know what kind this is, but it looked like a really terrific image. Frankincense resin is then distilled and made into the liquid frankincense that we get from doTERRA. And this is a picture of the brain with the different regions of the brain. Each and every region of the brain is super important. As we know, we don't ever want to injure our brain. We want to make sure that we protect it, and we want to protect young brains. Many children now are experiencing concussions due to sports or slips. You have to be conscious of older people if they slip and fall, and other profound brain injuries through car accidents or other accidents. So why essential oils help the brain? So due to their unique chemical constituents and the fact that they are carbon-based, essential oils are able to permeate the protective blood-brain barrier and provide support for the brain. Certain essential oils are comprised of specific chemical constituents like the brain oxygenating molecules of sesquiterpenes, such as the ones we find in frankincense and sandalwood, and have a particular affinity for supporting the brain. Essential oils with antioxidant and inflammatory response properties are also particularly important for maintaining a healthy brain. So I was super lucky in that the oils we had available to us were frankincense and lavender, which is an anti-inflammatory. So let's look at all the great oils for the brain. Black pepper, cedarwood, clove, frankincense, ginger, myrrh, patchouli, rosemary, and sandalwood. I love all of these oils. I have to say, I didn't know that things like black pepper and ginger were good for the brain, but we're going to find out in a minute what exactly they do for us. So, single oils, and I know this is a very tightly packed slide, but I think it has a lot of good information on it. Black pepper contains important antioxidants. You want to diffuse it to soothe anxious feelings and can cross the blood-brain barrier. Cedarwood relaxes the mind and the body, can cross the blood-brain barrier. What we love about cedarwood is its properties in helping us get to sleep. Clove contains powerful antioxidant properties. Frankincense supports healthy cellular function. Ginger delivers antioxidant protection, creates a sense of equilibrium, and also can cross the blood-brain barrier. And I will tell you this, I had to get a CAT scan for my head. It was the first and only CAT scan that I've gotten in my entire life. And I am taking Zendocrine blend. Actually, I'm taking the Zendocrine capsules that come in the white bottle, and also cilantro in a capsule every day for detoxifying the heavy metal exposure that I had with the CT scan, which is not listed here. Myrrh promotes emotional balance and well-being. Patchouli provides grounding and balanced emotions. Rosemary helps reduce nervous tension and occasional fatigue, enhances cognitive performance, memory, and mental alertness. And I've heard this many, many times. I know that, as I mentioned on this call from time to time, I have a friend who has Parkinson's disease, and he uses rosemary on his temples and also at the back of his neck every day. And the person who told him to do this was Dr. Hill. Sandalwood, or sometimes called aloes, promotes optimal brain function. Spikenard can also cross the blood-brain barrier. Thyme promotes a sense of alertness. And vetiver is rich in sesquiterpenes, which gives it a grounding effect. So these are all terrific single oils. You could make a blend of all of them, or you can consider some of the pre-made blends that doTERRA already has. So top on the list is Zendocrine Detoxification Blend, purifying and detoxifying to the body system. You can take this as an essential oil. You can apply it directly to the skin, and it comes in 2 different formulations, the oil blend in a capsule and a detoxification blend of various herbs and oils. So that's the difference between the black bottle and the white bottle. I sometimes find the black bottle over a long period of time is hard on my stomach, so I tend to take the white bottle, especially if I know I have to take it on a regular basis. But I did take the oils from the black bottle for the first 5 days that I was home. DDR Prime, I take DDR Prime on a daily basis, but I actually increased my intake right after the accident. It promotes a healthy response to free radicals and contains oils that can cross the blood-brain barrier. Intune Focus Blend. I found the Intune Peppermint a little sharp for me right after my accident. I applied Deep Blue Rub to my head for pain. I also took the Deep Blue capsules, which were terrific. Instead of loading myself up with over-the-counter anti-inflammatories like Tylenol and Advil, the Deep Blue capsules were a godsend. Intune Focus Blend, however, enhances and sustains a sense of focus and contains oils that can cross the blood-brain barrier. And finally, Immortelle. And this was the blend that I really felt was my go-to in the last few days as I've been recovering. It's a blend of powerful oils, including many of the oils that are listed above: frankincense, myrrh, and sandalwood. I love the smell. I was able to apply it to my temples and behind my neck. I actually also got an aroma touch in my home about the third day that I was here. And then finally I went to my chiropractor and kind of got myself a little bit straightened up. So I'm a little bruised, I'm a little banged up, but I'm much, much better. As you can see, I'm still a little foggy in my head. I feel like I'm not speaking as fluently as I usually do. The doctor had asked me to stay away from screens and things for a couple of days, and telephones and text messaging. So you notice that I was kind of quiet. That was what was going on. But I'm really feeling so much better, and I thank you all for all your well wishes and all your support. So let's talk about two studies that were done. So in studies performed in Vienna and Berlin universities, researchers discovered that sesquiterpenes, a natural compound found in essential oils of vetiver, patchouli, cedarwood, sandalwood, and frankincense, can increase levels of oxygen in the brain by up to 28%. This increase in oxygen helps the brain heal and resolve many issues. It can improve learning and concentration while also helping to support immune and hormonal imbalances. An added bonus is that it can also lead to higher energy levels. Any head trauma or injury is taken very seriously, and for good reason. Whether it is a mild concussion or surgery, the healing process is usually very long. Frankincense essential oil can gently aid in the healing of the brain because it increases the amount of oxygen that flows to the brain. With more oxygen comes quicker and better healing. So that's the end of my presentation about the brain and about head trauma. I hope that helped you. I kind of slid that in there. It was not on the agenda. I don't think we talk about memory and head trauma until really much later in the book. But I felt that it was so important and very timely, and that I wanted to be able to pass on the information to you as quickly as possible. So my last slide is actually a big, I think, very interesting announcement that I hope you all will love. I am coming to visit you. Yes, I am. So this year, June 22nd and 23rd, I will be in Vietnam. And I don't know who's going to be with me, except I know I'm going to be with Sang Louis, but I think I'm going to be with a couple of other people also. June 24th and June 25th, I will be in Malaysia. It looks like I'm going to be in KL. I haven't bought my tickets yet, but that's where I think I'm going to be. And then finally, June 26th through July 4th, I will be in Singapore. And for those of you who hadn't heard this yet, I'm so happy to announce it. The other really cool, interesting thing is that my family will be joining me in Singapore for the last part of the trip. So I'm super excited. I have not been out to see you folks in, I think it's just over a year. Part of that was because of different things that happened in my own personal life. And I am so, so pleased to be able to come out and to see you. So if you know people in these areas, or you are going to be in these areas yourself, please make sure to come by and see me, especially in Vietnam and Malaysia. I'm only there for 2 days back to back. I want to make sure that I can meet with and talk to whoever it is that's there and needs to talk to me. Once I get to Singapore, I know there's so many of you that can get there, and I'm going to be there, as you can see, for a good long time. I do know that school holidays will be running sort of towards the end of June, so that last week or so, some of you will be on school holiday. If you have younger children, I respect your family time. I want to make sure that you have family time with everybody back at home, but please join me. And actually, July 3rd is my daughter's 18th birthday. So we'll be celebrating right before she leaves. We leave to go back to the United States. So I'm going to actually take these off, this slide off, and I want to answer any questions you may have. Let's see what everybody's saying in the chat. Hold on. Oh, I'm so excited. So we reached 61 today, and I'm sure we're going to get to 100 very soon. So this is a very, very necessary switch. So let's see. I've got a couple of changes that I have to make. Someone asks, can I ship items to Singapore from my Malaysia account? I think the answer is yes, but I think you have to check that with your team leader, Celeste. But thank you for asking. Can I ask about the support for head trimmer, a girl? Yes, I would say that any of the oils that I published Now for head trauma, could be used for head tremors. Especially the rosemary is used for Parkinson's patients who often have head tremors. Okay. Anybody else have any questions about my visit, the head trauma, any of the products we talked about, the specials? We really had a long meeting this morning and this evening. I'm so excited to be talking with you. Please start making plans. Talk to your uplines, invite your friends. I'll be talking to the Singapore office, of course, and making sure that I'll be in the office hosting meetings there for you all. And I'm looking forward to seeing all of you again. I feel as if I get to see you each week on this call, but I can't always see all of you. So here's another really cool thing. Last week, I was able to send out a very big box to Shuli with some really cool prizes in it, and I want to make sure that everybody gets something exciting. So our winners today, the first winner is Benjamin Ephraim Liu. Benjamin, hold on one second. You know me, folks, I have to type this in. Actually, I'm going to watch this. I'm going to take a photograph of the screen. Oh, I'm getting good now. Okay, Benjamin Ephraim Liu is our first winner, and our second winner is Juan Pingo. Juan Pingo and Benjamin, congratulations. You each win a frankincense roll-on, a frankincense touch roll-on to those people. I want you to use this on your brain, and whether you had an injury or you didn't have an injury, frankincense is a fabulous way for you to support your brain. So thank you all, everyone, for getting on this call. Thank you for making it what it is. I know that next week we're going to be at even higher numbers. Please spread the word about our new number and make sure that everybody is on and that they've been able to make the transition. I'll make sure on the posting that the new number comes up. Have a blessed week. For those of you celebrating Passover or Easter, have a blessed holiday season, and I will see you all back here next week. Thank you for your support and your generosity with me, and I can't wait to see you soon. Bye-bye now.